Hi there, everybody. My name is River Doken. Welcome to the 44th episode of Speaking with Autism. Before I start today's video, again, this is a trigger warning video. For the context of the video that I will be talking about, I want to leave everybody ahead and say that this could offend and trigger anybody who feels this kind of pressure of dealing with suicide. So, again, if you feel offended by this or this hurts at anybody or somebody that you know or the viewer watching it, please stop and skip ahead or don't watch this video if you feel like this. And if you guys are okay, then let's get on to it. So before we end September, which is coming to a close, September is still Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And one of the things that I want to talk about is the meaning of a semicolon. Now, you may be thinking, what does the semicolon have to do with all this? Isn't it used in English writing where we write down a sentence, we put a semicolon, and we just keep going? But that's the whole point of a semicolon, because from the Integrative Psychological and Trauma Treatment in New York City on BetterHelp.com, a semicolon represents a sentence that the author could have ended, but chose not to. Because why? Because a semicolon represents that you are a representation of strength in the middle of a storm, where a storm is starting like thunder, lightning, and it comes in and it pours down really hard, and all of a sudden you're grasping that you're trying to figure out what's going on with you until you're trying to figure out, okay, what's really happening, and the storm comes up and it explodes. It lets out all that rain, storm, hail, any of that stuff. It lets out its frustration and anger. And a lot of people would use the semicolon as a tattoo when it uses it to demonstrate for their mental health, because it uses as an affirmation of solitary against a plethora of mental health issues. And it shows that because every now and then an autist in the autism spectrum, like I said in my previous video, 66% have complimented suicide, but 34% have said that they tried, and some did. Which is and sadly thing is that I was on the 66%. I complimented, but I never did it. And a whole lot of people, if you could go ask somebody who felt this kind of pain, you would see anyone who has a semicolon either on their wrist, their fist, shoulder, body, just like what shirt I'm wearing, which before I begin, it's about the pro wrestling show that I'm doing a part of. So, and what does it mean? And a lot of people have been asking, why did somebody put a semicolon on a tattoo, like I said, on any part of the body? Well, it shows, and according to the certified tattoo studios, the person wearing it has overcome sort of hardship in their life. So this demonstrates that no matter how many shit or crap you have gone through, that semicolon represents that you overcame your pain of facing suicide, depression, or addiction. And the thing is, you won. Did it let you win? No. Did all these things let you win? No. You won. They didn't. And it's always important to know, no matter how many times stuff gets thrown at you, you're stronger than this. Just like I had to go through this. I went through this path before. All throughout the time, I was an outsider. I was an outsider like throughout almost all my life. It was like a matter of time of whether the music I listened to, the clothes I dressed, the music I listened to, or any of that stuff. And most of the also the people with autism are mostly outsiders because society judges before they get to know you, and that's what I had to read in book. That's what the two books I read during my college forms of literature. Well, one of them, and that's Frankenstein, because Victor Franken, and this one's a little on the edge about it, where Victor Frankenstein mostly isolated himself away from his family and friends because he was so obsessed of creating this creature, and he was very neglected to to his family members, and especially his friends like Henry Clavell, and he didn't even talk 5 years to his soon-to-be wife Elizabeth. And this feels like anybody who had felt with depression, suicide, or even facing addiction, like you're to like taking drugs, drinking, all that stuff, especially painkillers. They neglect their own loved ones because they don't know how to control themselves until they get the help that they need. And this and for the future reference, during the 80s when the war on drugs was happening, a band member created the straight edge, which means putting an X on their fist, showing that a triple X, meaning don't drink, don't smoke, don't do any drugs. And that's what I am. I'm a straight edge. I don't do any of those things. And that's why I'm proudly represent, and I will always be like that. But the whole point of the semicolon, what it shows is that the author, whoever wrote that, Mary Shelley, whenever she writes Frankenstein, or anybody else that writes books like this, like for example, 13 Reasons Why, which is based off the Netflix show popular that's been made, that was a book first. Why do you think the author put a semicolon on their sentences? It's because it could have stopped that chapter, but it didn't. It kept going, and that's what a semicolon represents. You could have stopped. You could have stopped stuff saying, I should have ended myself for all the things that's been going on through me. Well, but look what happened. You kept going. You stopped, think for a second, and you're like, what is the purpose of me living? Until you realize who you are and why you are here. And then you beat that. And that is why you are here. There's so many things that a lot of us have no idea of what's going on with us. And before I end today's video, always remember that you are loved, no matter what people say. If any of y'all need help, or you feel like you're having problems, especially feeling suicidal, please stop. Go to your phone, call 988. That is the suicide hotline prevention number, and they will contact you really quick so that they can help you understand what's going on. There is nothing worse than being alone, especially surrounded by people who make you feel alone. And the other thing, once that's done, reach out to a friend. Reach out to your family members. A friend that you can mostly trust on. Seek therapy. Go to a therapist. Go ask anyone that you're asking for help, because there is nothing worse than not having help till it's too late. Thank you guys so much for coming to today's video. Please comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and always, at any time, you can always talk to me and to say what's happening, because this channel is a safe place to talk about of what's been going on. My name is River Delcom, and I speak autism, and I speak from behalf of everybody else. Have a great day.